Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to UWS Weekly, a show dedicated to the best pro-am league in the world. My name is Jonathan. I'm your host, and tonight I will be joined by President of Ladies Steel City FC, Antoinette Zaffino, and EJ Kirn, who is the Director of Coaching for Steel City. Before we get started tonight, let's go over some league news, though. In news that everybody's heard, the UWS and NISA has recently created an alliance in order to create a pro league for women. So the relationship between the National Pro-Am Women's League and Professional Men's League will reflect a combined vision to create greater opportunity, improved operations, and merit-based advancement for women's clubs, players, and leadership. The next step is the creation of a new women's professional league centered on a launch in 2022 that will widen the bridge for advancement for the amateur level as well. Club 9 Sports actually recently had named Carrie Taylor the managing director of the alliance. She'll lead the establishment with the new professional league. Her primary activities will include completing the paperwork, so the application for sanctioning with U.S. Soccer, along with working with the UWS and Club 9 executives to identify the initial slate of professional clubs and establishing the league's front office infrastructure and operations. UWS League 2 continues to add teams for the summer of 2021. Expansion in the National Pro-Am League for the upcoming campaign turns the corner towards preparation for the competition, with 4 organizations joining pre-existing conferences: Great Lakes, New England, Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic conferences. One of those clubs is Thundercats Soccer Club, which will join the Great Lake Conference alongside 10 other teams that hail from the great state of Michigan. The newly added Albany Rush has established an official reserve team for their senior team. They'll be the 6th team in the New England Conference League 2, alongside the reserve teams for the Connecticut Fusion, New England Mutiny, and Worcester Smiles, as well as Manchester-based New England Football Club and the Upper 90 Soccer Academy. The Hudson Valley Crusaders joined the Northeast Conference as the 4th team, along Steel United New Jersey and the UWS reserve teams for New Jersey Copa FC and New Jersey Teamsters FC. On top of that, Steel United is the nation's fastest growing soccer club with programs in 8 different states and has added their 2nd team to League 2. So Steel United Pennsylvania joins the Mid-Atlantic Conference as the 7th team, alongside the UWS reserve team for Lancaster Inferno, as well as Annapolis United FC, Delaware Union, Keystone FC, Maryland Elite Soccer Club, and Northern Virginia FC. So tonight, it is my esteemed honor to have the opportunity to speak to 2 incredible members of the Steel City Football Club. So with that, please welcome Director of Coaching, EJ Kirn, and Lady Steel President, Antoinette Zaffino. You two, how's it going this evening? A combined age. You are the youngest 2 to join us by far right now. I think you guys are under 50 years old with a combined age, if I'm not mistaken.
It's right on.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited for you guys to join us. So before we get started, why don't you each give us a little bit about yourselves and how you got started with the game we all love.
Perfect. I'll take it first. As you know, my name is Antoinette Zaffino. I'm president of Lady Steel City FC, and I'm also a player. I've been playing soccer since I was about 4 years old, subdivision soccer, and I just grew a passion to it because each time I played, no matter what team I was on, I was constantly developing. I was constantly bettering myself, and I just wanted to take it to as far as I can go. in my career, I stumbled upon Jason and his mission for the club, and I seen the need for women's soccer, going through my own trials and tribulations, growing up and seeing the difference that I can make for a young girl that I was going through maybe at the time. So I'm just really excited and passionate about the club and to be here. So thank you guys for having us.
I mean, it's kind of the same story. Grew up playing soccer right around U8 for a local park district team. Born and raised in Tinley Park, Illinois, still out there. And I just remember playing recreational soccer for a few years before my father pushed me towards competitive, which was the best decision we ever made. And I was very lucky and blessed to play for teams like the Chicago Magic back in their heydays and the Lamont Raiders at one point, which led me to playing college soccer. And I only played one season of college soccer before dropping out due to an injury. And I got into coaching at the age of 18. And these last 7 years have been phenomenal. And it just has taken me to an all new world with these kids, the young athletes, the semi-pros. And I'm just truly blessed to be here right now doing what I love.
Awesome. And just so everybody knows, we are experiencing, due to storms in Chicago area and Joliet, Illinois, as well as in California here, there might be some delay in the audio and the video, so I apologize for any issues that happen going forward. It's nothing we can control, really. So what got you both interested or motivated to join Steel City? Antoinette, obviously it was you playing and some of the things that happened alongside there, and it's actually an interesting story. But EJ, why don't you start us off and give us an idea of what got you with Steel City?
So about a year or so ago, I was coaching at a university called Benedictine University on Lisle, Illinois, Division III program, and we had a girl on there, one of our starting center backs playing, Victoria Alvarado, fantastic player and girl. And she kept telling us about like what she was doing, what it was about. And at the time, I was very uneducated. And then the indoor facility I helped run one day told me, hey, this guy called from like Lady Steel FC. And I was like, wait, what? And I pulled up his number. I shot him a text. And next thing you know, he added me to his coaching staff a year or two later. And a month or two later. And it's just taken off. He's put a lot of trust in me, director of coaching. I'm going to be his head coach for the UWS team, along with overseeing the development of our UWS 2 team. And what Jason's doing for the area, for these ladies, it's phenomenal with the UWS. And I just didn't think something like that could just happen so fast. Just finding the guy's number, and next thing you know, boom, he's one of my best friends now too. So that's how I got started with Lady Steel.
Antoinette?
Yeah, so I just went to, Jason approached me one time in a group of girls at an indoor little fun, friendly scrimmage and was like, hey, I'm putting a club together. A couple months later, someone was going to the tryout and invited me. And I went to the tryout, and before we even got started, he sat us all down and explained why he's here and his goals and intentions of starting this club. And at that moment, I was all in, and I gave nothing but 100% since that day, because I found my spot and I felt where I needed to be. A club that's gonna not only develop a great team on and off the field, but someone that's gonna take the time and attention and dedicate it to each player and work on the goals of development. That's what we were, is building a pathway. And I seen his motivation and how much he was so passionate about it, and that energy just rubs off on you. So I was all on board, and I wanted to support him in the journey, taking this club where it needs to be, even as a player. And how I got my president role was I reached out and I went above and beyond off the field to try to get the club the attention and support we need, because what we're doing, not just for the players, but for the community in general, we're trying to bring people together and to bring awareness and appreciation to women in sports and women's soccer. It's on the up and up, and we just continue to keep striving towards the development and breaking the glass ceiling for women.
That's awesome. That's well put. So I have to talk about that glass ceiling. What does the announcement with NISA mean as it relates to the landscape of professional women's soccer?
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that gap between the women's and the men's leagues to kind of start closing. I mean, watching young ladies play soccer and then going to play college is phenomenal. And I feel like if they don't play Division I or a Big Ten SEC school and they don't get drafted, it's kind of like, what are they doing? I mean, the men's side has MLS, USL, USL2, now NISA. The women's side in America has had the NWSL, which is phenomenal. And I've been waiting for something else to come and not compete with it, but give girls another opportunity to make a living off it or get a chance to go overseas or play in the NWSL one day. And this partnership blows me away just because we also have a men's team in the Midwest Premier League. And I know there's a little stuff going on there, but what NISA and UWS are doing, when that announcement came, Jason called me like 7 a.m. My phone was blowing up. And we're like, this is great for every team in UWS, UWS2, all the U23 programs around the nation. I mean, it's just going to close the gap, and it's about time. But it's also up to us and the fans to make sure it keeps going in that direction. This announcement is stage one. There's 20 more stages ahead of it, and we're going to do all we can to keep pushing the ceiling up, and we want to break through it. That's what we want to do. Like Antoinette said, we just want to punch through it and do everything we can as fans of soccer and fans of women's soccer.
So we have a question from Protagonist Soccer. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. But they had a question for you guys. Said, I'm really curious about the use of Medusa in the logo. Is it sort of a mythical villain? What's going on here?
I mean, in a way, yeah, I guess she could be a mythical villain, but we look at it in a whole different perspective. She's a strong woman, and anything she touches turns to stone. And, you know, being in a Steel City Joliet, you know, we're just trying to make everything we touch turn to stone in a good way. You know, we're trying to rub off that positive feedback and give the women something to look up to. And it's just a great representation of the club, you know, through you could be a villain, but you could be the best version of yourselves. And that's what we're getting after.
Nice. Well, I have to ask. So, Antoinette, how are you able to manage the role of both player and president, knowing that you actually have an opportunity to hire or fire the next coach who's sitting right next to you?
I know, right? It's a really good experience because I could see things in a whole different way. You know, I can communicate with the players on the field. I could see and feel what they're feeling, and they could come to me like a big sister, just someone that they can confide in, and I can make those calls and judgments with the directors and say, this is what's working and what's not. And to have a voice that can do that is everything, because a lot of women's soccer players may struggle talking to a coach. You know, there might be males and there might be some obstacles you overcome. We've all been there. I've been there. And there's nothing I enjoy more than seeing something that needs to be changed and taking the initiative to do it. How can we better ourselves? And it's a lot to juggle, but it's the most rewarding and best feeling to be on both sides.
And EJ, you wear multiple hats for Steel City. What is it like to be the coach, and then also as well as your other responsibilities? How are you able to dedicate or find time for all your roles?
You just got to grind and hustle. Like you said, I'm a young guy, age 25, and there's no such thing as a 40-hour work week in this field. No matter, every coach at this level will tell you, you just got to put in the time. I mean, between director of coaching, being the head coach, I'm also the women's goalkeeper trainer. I also have roles at another club where I co-DOC at a youth affiliation called Legacy Soccer Club. I have my own company for goalkeepers. The list goes on. I coach college at Purdue Northwest. But then a day, it's soccer to me, and I love it. Like, I don't wake up going, dang, I got a 12-hour day. I wake up going, let's go. I'm going to soccer the whole day.
That's why I can't fire you.
That's why she can't find anyone else crazy enough. It's like I said earlier, I'm truly blessed to do this for a living. I mean, when I first started coaching, my parents were like, hey, you got 2-3 years, and if you can't make a living, you got to go get a real job. And here we are 7 years later, still doing it. So I guess I did something right. But these hats, to me, it just benefits Lady Steel FC. It benefits having Tony here as president. Like, she does a great job with Jason. Like, we delegate situations and responsibilities. Like, she never has 30 things to do at once. She'll have 10 things. I'll have 10 things. Jason has 10 things. And it makes the day go by so much easier, especially with the season coming up in 2021. COVID took that away from us last year, but we're ready. We're prepared for plans A, B, C, D, and through the alphabet. And we just wanted to happen this year. And I think all the girls in the team, all the fans, like, let's go.
Well, we're excited. This is going to be a solid year for you guys. And so let's get into some questions about the club. First off, let's start off with the overall mission. What is the overall mission of Ladies Steel FC?
So really our mission is to break the barrier and the glass ceiling for women in soccer. And I think so far with the help of UWS, thank you guys, we're achieving our personal goals and missions of developing players to get them to where they need to go. We're not selfishly a club that we just need those wins and those stats under our belt. It's about our players and getting them where they want to go, where they need to be. It's just about development. And, we don't need to be, we want to win, don't get me wrong, but we don't need to be a winning team as long as our girls are going out there every single day, giving 100% in learning and continually being developed through each practice, each game, on and off the field. That's what we want for our players. So
in a way, how would you, let's ask this. This is going to be your inaugural year for the club. How do you measure success from this year going forward? Is it championships? Is it the number of players that you're able to develop to give an opportunity to? One of the things the UWS has been able to pride itself on is over the last 5 years, we've sent over 100 players to play at the professional levels. Is that what you guys are striving to do in Joliet, Illinois?
Yeah, I think you just nailed it. As a coach, I want to win every game, and hopefully my players feel the same way at every level. But like you just said, when I found out about Ladies Steel and the UWS, I went to the website. I was like, wow, look at all these girls going everywhere. And I didn't know that. Now it's like made me motivated to do that with this club, to where even if we lose a game 4-0, if a girl or two has a good performance that day, there's nothing stopping another club overseas or somewhere in America saying, hey, we loved what that girl did. Can we talk to her? Can we sign her? That's what Jason and I want. If in a year we lose our whole starting lineup because they went bigger, better places, I'm going to be happy as can be, because I helped those girls get somewhere, and the organization UWS did. No, once again, we want to win games, but I don't think that should be the main point here. This isn't the World Cup. This isn't the EPL. This is, let's get them somewhere else. Like with Tony being a player and president, there's nothing stopping her from being a professional player one day, or maybe going to another organization and being a president or marketing team for a real team where she makes a full salary. Like that would make me and Jason so happy. Just getting them to wherever the next step is in their life. And I know Jason feels the same way about myself and the rest. Like we just want everyone in this organization to go do bigger and better things, whether that's Steel City moving up the ladder or us getting these players up the ladder. To me, at the end of the day, nothing makes me happier than seeing people around me succeed. And I truly mean that. I'm not just saying that, but when I see players go do great things and people around me, it just makes me smile knowing I was kind of there for a hot second. So
nice. So the next question kind of goes along with that UWS concept, right? What drew the organization to the UWS? There's choices to be made when it comes to where you play or if you play. So what drew the organization to UWS?
I think it's just overall a better system, a better outlet for what we're looking for in our overall goals and development, and getting the correct exposure, getting the correct development through the teams that we're playing is very important. And this is a step in the right direction for us. And we've just been so excited to be a part of this journey so far. And it was a decision that needed to be made, but we felt we worked hard to get here, and this is where our path is.
What separates soccer in the club from others?
I think it's our attitude in the way we treat our players individually. And I'm huge on that because I'm a player, and that's why I'm so involved with the club, because it's, again, about the player development. We want our players to succeed on and off the field, and it's also what we're doing for our community. We have a lot of partnerships and sponsorships going on with people locally because they're giving, it's a partnership. We're helping them help us. And I think at the end of the day, that's a win for us, and it's a win for our girls because we're getting them marketing chances. And we also have affiliations with youth through our Little Ladies organization. We provide a camp to little girls out there to come and play with the UWS soccer players and get trained and just have fun. And I know with our sponsor, well, our partner, I should say, the Heroes of Autism, we are working very closely with. It's the Autism Hero Project. We help raise awareness for kids with autism so the company, what they do is they also give that money for insurance to kids who can't afford it. So that's really important to us, and sticking with the youth in our community, because we want these little girls to look up to our players and one day be at our level.
We'll get into that in a little bit with Beyond the Pitch, but we'll talk more about that in a little while. I think that's a huge opportunity to talk about the community and what Lady Steel is doing for the community. But I have to ask, for all the players who are out right now watching this who have not found a UWS team or live in the Chicago-Joliet area, what makes Lady Steel unique in that they need to come and join your club, EJ?
Well, first off, I mean, having two teams, the UWS 2 team, and us being able to provide even just training players. So roster spots is the big thing. Right now, getting that coaching staff together still. But, I mean, we keep talking about Jason, the owner. He's the man. I mean, what he does, how he markets it, how he pitches it to the girls about why do you want to be here? That's the first. When I came in, I asked him, can I talk to these girls? Like, why do you want to be here? And some were like, I want to go pro one day, or I need a good home to play it over the summer to get ready for my college season, or I want to go somewhere. Just the community too. I mean, we're going to be lucky to be playing out of DuPage Medical Field out in Joliet. You know, it's a baseball stadium to a minor league baseball team, thousands of seats, vendors for food, all the other good stuff. And like you said, there's a lot of choices out in the Midwest. It's a SADS conference. I follow each of them on Instagram, and they're all doing fantastic things. Like, we can all make a case for, hey, come to us. And I think that's what makes UWS so strong is all these teams in the Midwest. I'm looking at, like, we do a lot of great things, but these other clubs are doing phenomenal things also. And I don't want to make it seem like we're doing stuff bigger and better than our clubs, because we're all doing great things. That might be the shy answer, but each of us is providing something for each of those girls out there in that marketing system. But in Chicago, south side of Chicago, where we're at, there's a lot of good players out here that have been overlooked because we're in the south side of Chicago. And I've seen that through a youth system to where girls get overlooked to go play in college because we're not in the big towns or the big marketing. But we got some kick butt players down here. You got to come check them out.
I mean, that's one of the things that's like the idea, right? Is that we've had these academies in place, and we've recently taken the academy structure away in the United States. So how do you cast a big enough net to find talent in these rural suburban cities? Juliet is a prime example. How do you find, the next Alex Morgan? Well, you have the UWS, you have those opportunities. You have people who are willing to participate and expand their vision of who's coming in, right? Unity FC does a good job of a try in as opposed to a try out. And you guys are extending an opportunity in the south side of Chicago for more players to be visual to bigger conferences in college, and even, maybe even the Red Stars of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what games do you see you guys yourselves circling for a rivalry? Now, again, this is your inaugural year. We don't want you to go making any enemies.
Oh.
We'd like to think of them as frenemies. Who are we circling?
I'm not circling anyone because I don't want to open my big mouth and then get my butt kicked. But rivalries are good for sports. I mean, Chicago, you got Cubs Sox. That brings in ticket sales. That gets everyone to turn on their TVs. Packers, Bears. And it's healthy. Rivalries are healthy for you. I haven't circled anyone in the calendar yet, so no one making an enemy on me yet. And we're going to find out this season, too. Whether we win or lose, there's going to be some stuff said in social media. I mean, I've seen it already along the board where someone posts something silly and it starts a fire. But to me, I just go, okay, if one of my players actually says something to another team, I'm going to look at them and be like, well, you better go back it up now. And I know I won't be saying anything like that. So I'm not calling. We don't have any rivals yet, but I think after the first season, we'll find one or two, and it's going to be a healthy one to where the coach and I should be calling each other, like, hey, we're playing each other in 2 weeks. You ready? And, have some banter and then hopefully, hang out after.
Yeah.
Positive bulletin board material. I like it.
Yes, agreed.
Antoinette, do you have anything to add to that one, or you going off what EJ said? No bulletin board material?
No, I'm for sure going off what EJ said because, we're still, or it's our inaugural year. Like, we can't have any rivals yet. I mean, eventually through the works we may, but good luck to all the teams that are in the conference. I mean, it's a huge deal and huge opportunity for everyone. So just the best of luck to each team.
So you got to tell me, you guys are now at your indoor facility, I'm assuming, because I hear all the children running around, which is a good indication of youth organization. So tell us about the youth organization and how you are establishing the perfect environment towards professional development for those youth players.
So our youth affiliation, as I said earlier, I'm the co-director of coaching at Legacy Soccer Club out of New Lenox, Illinois, and we offer competitive and recreational teams. We have over 700 players in-house, and that's kind of split down the middle between boys and girls, 300 for both, 350. And we encourage our boys and girls to go play in college. And now with this UWS and Lady Steel affiliation, it's giving my girls something else to do in the summer. I folded both U23 programs from our own club to affiliate with Lady Steel because I thought it was the right choice, to where I was like, this could get our players somewhere. I think it's going to be better training, better situations. And Tony keeps saying it's networking, marketing, and developing. Like you can hear the noise. We're in the facility right now. There's soccer in here 7 days a week now. It's awesome. And I could say a lot of the girls in the club I help run, they're walking around with their Lady Steel shirts. They got their little wristbands on. They're talking about coming to all the home games. The parents are starting to get noise of it. And it's giving a lot of those girls inspiration to where, yeah, they turn on the national team. They turn on Red Stars games. It's just another avenue of women's soccer to go watch. Personally, I'm excited to watch the Man City women's game tomorrow. And I want people to go, oh, man, Lady Steel tomorrow is playing Corktown. Like, let's go watch. Like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of great players on the field. Like, come watch. It's a true inspiration. And I've seen that as a director. When I look at the girls in the field training and I hear them talking about the players in the team, one of our players at Lady Steel, Coach Samantha, those are one of our goalkeepers. She also coaches at the club. And these little girls are like, oh, I'm so happy to go watch Sammy play this summer at a high level. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we want. Like, this could be you one day, kiddo. Like, you could be on the field for Lady Steel one day. You dream it. Let's try to make it happen. Let's make it a reality. And I truly mean that. And I got a little 2012 girls team, and I hope they'll come out, watch out. I hope they take inspiration from girls like Tony, that the world's changing. And I'm hoping over the next 5, 10, 15 years that some of these girls I'm coaching are on the field still in 10, 15 years playing at the next level, just because they deserve it. Women have earned it, and it's time. And once again, UWS is giving us that platform to make it happen.
Awesome. Is there a certain type of player that you guys are looking for? Like, is there a certain characteristic or a certain, value that you're looking for when it comes to the players who participate in Lady Steel FC?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll speak from a president's perspective and from a teammate's perspective, is that I want someone that's going to make other players better, someone that wants to better themselves every day and not just come in with an attitude that I'm the best. This is what I can do. This is my position. Just very point blank. No, we need someone that's cultured, someone that can be very flexible, but someone who's very committed to their own development and will give back to the club just as put into the club what we're putting into them individually.
I'll piggyback off that. 100% all that. We want great girls. We want great people. It's kind of like when I'm recruiting for college. Not only do I want a great player on the team, but I want to make sure that we have good people on the team, that they're going to be in the community doing the right things. They're not going to be on Twitter, Instagram, saying bad things or posting silly stuff. And I don't care if you're playing Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA junior college. If you're a good player, you're a good player. I think that social norm nowadays is, oh, you didn't play Division 1, you're not good. I think that's completely foolish to say. I've coached Division 3, Division 2, and junior college, and I've coached great players across the board. If you look at our roster, which is being released on Instagram and Twitter, we got girls from all levels playing on both teams, and that's got to be the new norm. Is it doesn't matter what level you play at, you could be a good player, and you can get to the next level. And that's truly what it's about, is just keep going, keep pushing. It doesn't matter where you play at. You could get to the next level if you want it enough.
So this year has been difficult for all organizations and sports throughout the world. What have you taken away from this experience, both perhaps negative and positive? Antoinette?
Are we speaking personally or about the club?
Let's go soccer. Let's go soccer. And if you want to get into the personal realm, we can, but
No, I'm just messing around. No, for the club, the only negative thing was, we didn't get to play a full season, which really bummed out a lot of girls and, set us back. But the positive that came out of it was a lot of reevaluation of the staff, of the moves we're going to make, what we plan on doing our 2-year, 5-year, 10-year goals, and just really breaking the club down to the simplest form and then saying, how can we get past this and how can we become better than where we were at the beginning of COVID, and it's been not the best for everybody, but for us as a club, I think it's been a blessing because a lot of good came out of it for us, a lot of reevaluation, a lot of new friendships, partnerships, and it really helped us bring us closer to the community, which was the biggest thing.
Well, and speaking about the community, can you give us some insight? I recently saw on Instagram and Twitter that you have created an alliance or partnered with Walgreens for some apparel. Can you tell us a little bit about that opportunity?
Yes. So I called up Walgreens locally, and because they would promote high school in there, they'd have little Joliet signs on t-shirts, and I just wanted to know what we can do to get our logo in the store for the community. And I just called up one of the managers, Megan. She was amazing. Told her who I was, what our goals were for the community, and that was the biggest hit home. Was we weren't doing it for ourselves and just for the club's promotion. We just wanted to show some excitement and create some noise and say we have something to look forward to this year. And they loved the idea and wanted to partner with us, and it's been amazing ever since.
That's awesome. Nothing good can happen. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? They'll say, no, not this year, but you guys got an opportunity. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what should fans, the community, and others be excited about or look forward to this upcoming season with Lady Steel FC?
I definitely think I'll go first. Sorry. I definitely think it's our home stadium, Joliet Slammer Stadium, which is DuPage Medical Group field, a beautiful facility, and we are just gonna put on a show there. I mean, from the players on the field to bringing out all of our sponsors, our partners, all the youth teams are gonna come out, and it's just gonna be an exciting time to get everybody back together and get somebody walking down the street and come into our game and just pop in and see their friends or see these girls play and just cause some noise in the Joliet area and just bring more people together. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, not only is it a soccer game, but it has to be a form of entertainment. I know our owner Jason's talking about having halftime shows with different musicians, having tailgating go out there, having, press-ons for the jerseys and the apparel. And Tony mentioned the youth stuff. I mean, my job's going to be contacting all my local friends in the area that run other clubs. I'm going to be like, hey, bring out your U14 girls team, bring out your U12 girls team. They'll walk out with our players, wear your jerseys. Halftime, we'll set up little 4v4 fields from the play on in front of the fans. And that's what I really want. I remember those days too, even when I was, old school Chicago Fire fan, when I did a walkout and I got to be on the field, it motivated me to keep going with soccer. Just hearing the noise, the music playing, watching the players warm up, that sticks with you for the rest of your life. As a little boy or girl, like you get to do a walkout, like that's going to stay with you for life. And that's what we want. I want to see these girls run out on the field and be like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. And in 20 years, be, hey, remember when you did that walkout? They'd be like, yeah, it's what really motivated me to keep playing soccer and keep going.
I mean, I know I've got a few years, but I'm waiting for a player to have one of Tony's jerseys on and come try out for the team and show her that jersey. Be a couple of years down the line, but that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna move into the hot seat. So you guys are told about this. You weren't given any questions. In fact, producer Joe put all these together for you guys today. So we're gonna get started. Quick little quick answers to these questions. some that are going to be community based, but some that are going to be they're going to be hot topics for you guys. Here we go. First question: favorite non-soccer activity?
Favorite non-soccer activity?
Video games for me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Hot seat.
This is a hot seat. Hanging out with my family.
Favorite local restaurant?
Local restaurants.
Oh.
There's this great Greek place out in Lisle called Opolis. They got great Greek food, and it's to die for. It's about 20, 30 minutes away. I'll go to it. It's great.
It's not too local, but it's in Chicago. It's called Riccobenni's. It's Italian.
Nice. What's on your playlist right now? When you're driving to work, what's slapping on the good old iPhone?
Oh, Dua Lipa, Levitated with DaBaby.
All right.
Country music or some Bad Bunny right now, some Spanish playing.
Oh, yes.
Nice. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Go to pizza style. Are we talking deep dish or are we going thin crust? What are we going?
Deep dish.
Thin crust with some sweet sauce. Palermo's pizza.
Most embarrassing soccer memory?
A ball straight to the face.
Ball through the legs as a goalkeeper right here. And I was not a toddler when that happened.
Okay, and then the last one I got to ask, what is the preferred soccer boots of EJ and Antoinette?
Nike.
New Balance.
Ooh, I've not heard New Balance, but that's all right. I'll take it. Okay. Well, you guys made it through. No problems there. Hope it wasn't too complex. But what are some of the ways the club impacts the community through its efforts and outreach? And we're going to get into the other forms, but what are some of the things you guys are doing that might not be known by everybody?
You want me to go?
Okay. Take it away.
Did you want me to talk about our little ladies? Is that what we're talking about?
No, just in terms of like, what are some of the things? How are you guys working with the community to create a difference? Like, yes, the little ladies, but we're going to talk about that with Beyond the Pitch.
Okay, that's
what are some of the efforts and outreach that you're doing outside of that?
So we are also trying to do a big sister program, and that's newly in the works of just someone that's going to kind of adopt a younger player and vice versa, and just an older lady that's going to check in on this girl constantly through months and throughout the season, helping them with homework, helping them no matter what age they are, helping them with their jobs or careers and whatever it is, just kind of a buddy and someone to help guide you in the right direction.
That's cool. So kind of like a big brother, little brother institution.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, you guys, one more question before we get into Beyond the Pitch, but what does community mean to each of you?
Community to me means a lot, just because born and raised in Tinley Park, southwest suburb, and the club I help run is 20 minutes from there. Lady Steel and Joliet's 20 minutes from my home. I have no plans of leaving this area, and I've been offered jobs, and I want to do everything I can in this area to develop good players, whether that's male or female player. There's a lot of good players out here. They just have to get noticed. There's a lot of good talent, and we just have to be able to keep good coaches around. And I want to stay here. I want to be a part of something big, and I think Lady Steel is on the right path for that. The club I help runs on the same path, and it goes beyond the coaching aspect to where you make connections with these players. You make connections with their families. I still talk to some of my best club teammates and college teammates. I still talk to their parents. My parents talk to their parents. And that's what it's about. It's about building long-term friendships with your club coaches, with your teammates. If I last at Lady Steel 1 year because Tony fires me, maybe in 25 years the players go, oh my gosh, I loved you for those few months. And that's what it's about, just staying in touch with your players. And that's what it's about to me, is building relationships off the field, not just on the field.
Antoinette?
Yes, same thing for me too. Is what I love is that we're actually going above and beyond for the community, and we want to be involved, and we want to be a house, not just a household name, but an outlet for the community, to something that we could all relate to and connect to. And it's not often that you see a female or women's soccer club do that, or have a genuine pathway and stepping stone, like each levels that you can get to within it. And it doesn't just stop at one age. You can continue to be a part of our journey and our ride as long as you want, and you're committed to the development. And I think our community loves it, and we love them. And I appreciate them taking us in with open arms and loving what we're doing. So we're super thankful that they're allowing us to be able to do what we do, because without them, you know, we wouldn't have the love, support, and the fans we do.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk tonight. Let's get a little bit into Beyond the Pitch. So this segment is dedicated to highlighting individuals, clubs, organizations in our UWS communities doing awesome things away from the field. This person or group could be a supporter, club staff, player who's just doing awesome things. So you guys are involved in 2 initiatives, 2 campaigns. Tell me a little bit about the Little Ladies. Give us some insight. What should the community be looking forward to or marking on their calendar as an important date? What are we doing with the Little Ladies that Juliet, Illinois needs to know?
Yes. So I get so excited. I know I kept spilling the tea earlier and kind of mentioned it, but I'm so excited about it because it's just such a breathtaking moment when you're there and you could see what we're doing. And essentially that's giving the opportunity for little girls to come out and play soccer. And we have a partnership with the Autism Hero Project. And so we raise awareness for them. And that brings out just not your everyday soccer player. Like, you know, you're bringing out kids who've never played soccer. And that's the best thing, is to see these kids who have no idea what they're doing and see them having so much fun. And that's the most rewarding feeling. And we've had parents hitting us up all the time, asking when the next one was, saying their kids can't stop talking about it, which it's awesome. And we're going to have plenty more coming soon. And it's open all ages. We even have, I know it's a little ladies, but we do have some little men that sneak in there and they're just eating it up. So it's such a great time in the community. There's so many smiles on everyone's faces. And we did a few camps throughout the summer where Little Caesars Pizza did donate pizzas for all the little ladies who showed up to that event. And it was just so nice. And we gave trophies out and we danced, we had music, and we look forward to our next couple events that we're going to be having. They'll be soon. And we've been taking the precautions to make sure everyone's safe during those events as well.
So if people wanted to get contact you about this or get more information, how can they go about finding more information about the Little Ladies Project?
Yes. So if you would go onto our Facebook at Lady Steel City FC or the Little Ladies Camp, we have Facebook pages for those. And you could see we'll have registration dates when they're available. It'll be a JOT form. You could just sign up for it. And so like I said, just stay tuned. They're coming soon. It'll be posted on our Instagram, our Facebook, all of our social media accounts. So those will be coming soon. And if you have any questions about those, anyone can just send us a direct message. Any questions will be answered. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you two taking the time to join us this evening. It was a great conversation. Lots of learning going on. I know Protagonists had done an article on the club, and hopefully we can get more information out to the members of the Juliet community. So cheers and thank you to you two for taking the time. Have a great rest of the evening.
Yes. Thank you guys for having us. John. Appreciate it. Bye.
So thank you so much for joining us this evening for UWS Weekly. You can follow all things UWS and UWS2 on their social media pages and send your questions for future shows as well. So until Thursday next week, have a great weekend and evening. We'll talk to you then. Cheers, everyone.